Being a black pastor in America is complicated. There ain't a more sexy way to say that. Being a black pastor in America is complicated. And anytime somebody tries to water that down, it's proof they've never had to preach with a target on their chest and a system on their neck. They want the black from our culture, but not the pain that birthed it. They want the soul of our worship, but not the struggle that shaped it. And let's get real. White supremacy trained this nation to treat black culture like a disease and every other culture like a delicacy. You ever notice that? Everybody else gets to celebrate their roots, their food, their family names, their festivals, their folklore, but when it comes to us, our music is dangerous, our voices are angry, our hair is unprofessional, our churches are too emotional, our history too inconvenient to teach. This is intentional. Black culture is the only culture that gets dragged into a culture war, not by accident, by design. And you know what really gets under my skin? The way we're told, be Christian first, be black second. Excuse me? Why doesn't that apply to every other group? You don't tell white Christians to stop being patriotic. You don't tell conservative Christians to check their politics at the door. You don't tell evangelical churches to be less American. But somehow, when a black Christian loves their heritage, it's suddenly a problem. Nah, I see the game. This ain't about unity, it's about control. See, y'all never had to separate your skin from your salvation, but we did. We were forced to worship the God of our oppressors and trust that somehow he wasn't okay with it. But let me tell you something. Me being black is not a problem Jesus came to fix. It's a glory he came to reflect. I don't need to shrink myself to be accepted. I don't have to bleach my culture to be holy. I don't need to choose between the cross and my culture because the cross met me in my culture and said, I'll carry that too. Being black doesn't make me less Christian. It makes my worship deeper because I know what it means to sing in chains, to shout in the storm, to pray when power said you don't matter. So no, I will not be quiet. I will not dilute my identity. I will not let anybody shame me for carrying the image of God in this black skin. And let me be clear, me being proud of who I am ain't an attack on who you are. Me being black doesn't cancel your whiteness. It doesn't erase your heritage. It doesn't diminish your culture. But if my pride makes you uncomfortable, maybe it's because your comfort was built on my silence. So here's your theology check. God never asked us to erase our culture. He asked us to redeem it. And black culture has been baptized in more blood, buried in more systems, and resurrected in more revivals than anybody wants to admit. Being a black pastor in America is complicated because I gotta fight to stay free in a church that still wants me in chains, but I'm not backing down, not now, not ever.
Kindly remember, this video is not to gaslight or shame black pastors in America. We are only going to talk about the struggles they face giving you sermon in your churches. Kindly, if you are not an alien, hit the subscribe icon below and follow my page. First time viewers and subscribers, I'm Marvin, and please and kindly feel free to share this video to a black family so that they can know what struggles black pastors face in America. Most of all, like this video up, family. On today's episode, we'll focus in black pastors in America. And the question is, why is it being a black pastor in America complicated? This is a topic that needs to get answers. It is a question that needs proper guidance and understanding. I am not here to shame black pastors. I am only here to highlight to you what fears and struggles they face. A black pastor can be giving you sermon in his church. He can be talking about the book of Genesis. Suddenly, he will jump into another topic and talk about how Trump is mistreating black people in America. This is another struggle black pastors face giving you sermons. It is a world of war between the spiritual world and the political world. A black pastor can be also talking about how you should change your life. The second minute or second, he can change the topic and begin to talk about taxes that are undermining black Americans in America. This episode is just to create awareness. I am also a Christian. I am not shaming the Christianity religion. It is a level I'm trying to tell you how black pastors face in this regime. They continue to face criticism from the white supremacists because they uplift black people. It is not an easy journey being a pastor in America. Specifically, if you are a black pastor, you will be undermined by white folks. You will only be preaching in black churches and the Christianity dominion. Why is it so? Let me know your response on the comment section below. There's a question I have for you. Have you ever seen a poor or broke pastor? They are all rich. They pass the knowledge they have to you. And they also shame Trump's regime. They also shame wicked ways you black Americans are facing in America. Let's watch the following videos. Remember, it is not to shame the Christianity religion. It is to highlight to you what black pastors face in this regime. It is a complicated world all over, not only in America. Even where I am right now, black pastors continue to face criticism all over, not majorly in America. Let's watch the following videos and we'll come back at the end and discuss more implications on this. Thank you.
If your pastors were completely honest with you about how church works, you'd probably walk away. And that's exactly why they're not telling you the full truth. Pastors are trained not just in theology, but also in how to sell their church. It's a business. And that's not even the worst part. It's a system designed to keep people in line, keep the money flowing in, and to keep you from questioning too much. And I know this because I used to be one of them. I stood on the platform week over week believing that I was doing the work of God. But looking back, I realized how much I kept hidden, sometimes because I was trained to, and sometimes because I didn't even recognize the problems myself. Now here's the irony. When I was ordained, I actually believed that we were about to fix the world, like we were Batman swooping in to save Gotham. But in reality, it turns out we were more like the Kardashians, busy brand building, thriving on drama, and selling illusions for ratings.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Black preachers, black influencers, black pastors, African Americans who call themselves Christians, stop worshiping your skin color. Stop worshiping your skin color. Stop making the color of your skin the God in your life instead of the God that we read about in the Bible. Stop doing it. Stop reading and preaching the word of God through a black lens. Preach it through a biblical lens. And I have to say this because we are living in a time where African Americans have sectioned themselves off and said, I'm going to preach through a black lens instead of a biblical lens.
And another thing, I feel like black pastors are sowing seeds of separation, of division, okay, amongst race, amongst people. I feel like black pastors and black churches are teaching the young people in the church how to be racist against white people, okay? I feel like black churches push racism more than anybody. Well, I'm not gonna say more than anybody, but I'm just saying a lot more than people are willing to admit. Okay, a lot of these black pastors are causing so much confusion, so much division, and then you got these self-proclaimed pastors that call themselves apostles, bishops, you know, things of that nature, have not been to theology school, have not even studied anything theological, have not even been ordained, okay? These people are, a lot of these people, not all, but a lot of these people are self-proclaimed pastors, okay? And something needs to be done about that. People need to wake up and pay attention to who they're following and who they're listening to, okay? If he's up there, he's supposed to be reading from a Bible. He's supposed to be breaking the Bible down and teaching, right? Why are these black pastors causing division and separation? Okay, and teaching black people and black children and young people how to be racist. Okay, I feel like the black churches and the black pastors are keeping people like me down. Not me, because I know better. Okay, trust me, I know better. I knew better from, since I was a kid. You understand? But a lot of people that don't know better, a lot of people that can't read, write, or really comprehend, I feel like a lot of those people are being misguided. You understand? Even some of the people who are educated, may not be smart enough to know the difference. Okay, we got to stop letting these pastors pour into us, foolishness. Okay, it's about time. Wake up.
Christianity does more than teach people about God. It teaches people about power. And the reason that black people cling to Christianity is because many black people have never had a positive image, a healthy image of power dynamics. So a narcissistic God, a God that has seemingly only created you to fulfill his own personal ego, a God that will punish you for eternity, for 70 years living on earth, for 20 years living on earth, for 50 years living on earth. That makes sense to you because black people historically have been forced to understand themselves and the world around them through rigid power dynamics. To be a good Christian, under Western contemporary definition, it requires you to ignore a degree of the abusive and narcissistic relationship that God has with you. It teaches you to have no boundaries, no rebuttal, no criticism for your governance. It teaches you to have an exclusionary understanding of power where you believe that power is only concentrated in one area. What it also teaches you is to view power, your agency to change and impact the world around you, as something that does not belong to you. As long as you are willing to be ignorant of that fundamental premise, you can be a Christian in the West. And that same ignorance, that same hierarchical understanding of humanity is only practiced for you to understand white supremacy. It's only practiced for you to understand homophobia. It's only practiced for you to understand misogyny. It's only practiced for you to understand transphobia. How else do we understand God? We understand God through his power, but we also understand God through his love. And if you've ever been to a black church and if you've ever been to a white church, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those two groups generally understand God's power and love very differently. Black people often understand God through his wrath, through his ego, through his narcissism, through his punishment. But oftentimes, white people understand God through his patience, through his grace, through his understanding, generally. But why does that discrepancy exist? Because, say it with me now, Christianity has been a tool for indoctrination. Since the conception of this country, conquistadors, colonizers have used Christianity not to only change your beliefs, but to change your values, to change how you view not only the world around you, but yourself and what you deserve. If we're going to hold white supremacy accountable, if we're going to hold colonialism accountable, if we're going to hold imperialism accountable, if we're going to hold any ism accountable, we cannot ignore Christianity.
Up to now, I know majority of you are burning with words to give in the comment section below. I will humbly respond to you. Let's engage. Let's talk more about this episode. What's your religion? Is it Christianity? Is it Islam? Is it Jewish? Let me know. But most of all, we are going to talk about the most followed religion in this world, which is Christianity, and in Black America. Black Americans are of Christian religion. It is their culture to be a Christian. Black pastors, we all know, are people who have sound mind. They give sermons. They also talk about politics. They also guide their congregation on Trump's regime. Kindly, this is not a war. This is not an episode to create animosity between Black Americans. It is to create awareness about the struggles Black pastors go through. They don't show you and they don't give you a clear description of what they face in this world. All over, you can ask any black pastor what he faces. He will clearly tell you the challenges he is facing. But today we are going to talk about how it is a challenge being a black pastor in America, specifically, which is being a black pastor in America is complicated. The following videos, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you think about these black pastors. We need to respect them. We need to uplift them, because even though they are making money, they are guiding us. Remember, white folks hate black pastors. They hate the black dominion because they always feel you are always at the top. Why is it so? Why is it that black pastors continue to face challenges in Trump's regime and in America? Let me know your response on the comment section below. And remember, family, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I will keep you more posted on what's happening in Black American family. We are all here to uplift you, we are all here to protect you, and we are also here all to protect black pastors from harsh Trump's regime. See you on the next episode, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.